This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Diggity dank.
Hey there, kiddies. What's like a 40s thing? Hey there, kiddies. Welcome back to the Nightwing. I am Phil, and joining me, as always, it is...
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And yes, this is my horrible 40s impression, because, yes, today we're talking Batman 18 and 19. Give it a year once I pull it up here.
We're in 1943.
Oh, man. So how about the Hitler kid's house, eh?
He's bad.
He's bad.
Actually, I think on one of the covers, they're one of them kind of involves the Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about this today. I'm like, you know how old this is? There's not even a Justice League yet.
There, see, on the cover of 18, we've got Hitler. I think that's supposed to be the Japanese emperor. I mean, you would think the other guy is Mussolini, but that really doesn't look like Mussolini.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who that guy's.
Yeah, that was a big theme back in the day, because even the first ever issue of Captain America, he's punching Hitler in the face. So
yeah,
that was a big thing with comics in the day. He's like, buy war bonds and punch Hitler in the face and stuff.
Yeah. Which interestingly, Batman and Robin do not. They mostly did the World War II stuff on the cover, and the stories are not related. It's escapism, but whereas Captain America, if you're not punching Nazis, why'd they even invent you?
Exactly.
And give you that name, I mean.
But they kind of did that with all the superheroes back then. It's like,
right.
Be patriotic. And
most assuredly.
All right. You want to lead us through these? Because these are your picks.
Well, I mean, we can't go to all of them because that's actually 8 stories. So I want you to take a guess, Phil. Which ones do you think are my favorites in here?
I don't know. In 18, did you like this first one?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, my favorite one in 18 is obviously the second one.
Oh, yeah.
Rob studies his lessons. Duh. But actually, in 18, I think all of them are pretty good. My least favorite is the Good Samaritan Cops because I don't really care that much about.
Yeah, I mean, the first one I was just thought you might like it because it's like almost like Bruce and Dick take like a road trip almost.
Yes, yeah. Well, and I like that one because Alfred has a moment, and it's also interesting because, of course, Alfred is. This is old school Alfred before he changed and became skinnier and more proper. He still kind of has his weird British accent where they have him say like monsters and stuff like that.
I know. Oh, hey, Russell from Tomes of Evil podcast.
Hello, Russell.
Yes, we're covering some 1943 Batman.
I don't think I've met Russell before. But yes, in 18, so Robin Studies His Lessons is the main one I want to talk about. But then also The Crime Surgeon is pretty good because they made an episode of the animated series out of that.
Yes.
Although Robin wasn't in that one. And I think because the surgeon is Thorn, I kind of wonder if that's where they got the idea to have the Rupert Thorn is to like make them brothers because they already had the Thorn.
Nice little shout out to he had 2 different Thorns in the comics, the crime boss and the crime doctor,
But yes, so the main one in this one is of course Robin Studies His Lessons because it shows how smart Dick is and also because Bruce is such a dad.
Look at him studying cane sugar and glucose.
Yep. Yep. So, yes, to highlight in Robin Studies His Lessons, what happens, readers? So, Dick comes home, and he's like so old school. Look, he doesn't even have a backpack. He's just carrying his books in a strap. Like, that, I feel like that might even be, I mean, that feels like the prairie.
It's like depression almost. It's like, that's like for people who couldn't afford a bag. It's like, come on, Bruce Wayne can afford a bag. Come on.
I know. That's some of the things that crack me up so much. So anyway, Bruce is like, oh, Dick, you didn't even say hello. What's wrong? Then nothing much. Bruce minimizing his problems. At your age, no trouble should be really serious. Out with it, lad. Tell me what's bothering you. It's like, it's my report card. I don't understand.
I just have you facing gangsters and killers, but hey, how dare you be depressed?
Right. And then Bruce is like, hand it over. But he's like, you know what would happen if you flunked? And his report card cracks me up because they're always mixing, like, how old is Dick in here? I mean, we see he's not even wearing long pants yet. He's still wearing, like, the shorter pants. But he's studying Latin, chemistry, physics, algebra. Like, people usually don't even study chemistry and physics at the same time. They study chemistry and then physics.
It's just like, this is like rich people school.
I don't know. He must go to a very advanced elementary/middle school.
I love he's wearing the Robin colors though too.
Oh yeah, he does that so often. It's funny.
But I don't know. Did a lot of guys in the 40s sit at home with wearing bow ties while they're just sitting around reading the paper?
I guess lots of rich guys did. I like it when Bruce is sitting around in his smoking jacket, smoking his pipe. Sitting around his house. That cracks me up.
Oh, hey, but yeah, Russell, yes, he has a podcast, but he covers all villains. Yeah, he said if you want to be on the show,
I love villains.
Pick a villain. It would have to be a Nightwing villain, though.
No, I do Batman villains
that's
too.
True. You know you're Batman.
I mean, also, other things. If there's a villain that's funny, I like funny villains. I'll read about them. Anyway, and then Bruce, in full dad mode, puts down the hammer and says, "That's it. You're suspended from being Robin. You will study day and night." And then also, this cracks me up because this is in the 40s when Bruce was not quite as intense as later. But remember when we read that one in Superman 700? We was like, it had to be Dick. I'm going to ground him till he's 30. Yeah. And here he's like, you have to study day and night. And under no circumstances will you leave this house. Doesn't he have to leave the house to go to school, Bruce?
Well, he's rich. He could probably have tutors coming.
I mean, I'm sure he doesn't mean that. But it kind of cracks me up. The other thing that I like is they allow Dick in the 40s, they allow everybody, but particularly Dick, since he's the kid, to be emotional because they're like, oh, he's struggling to hold back tears. I don't think you would get that so much in the comics now. Yeah. Anyway. And then Batman is like, I'm sorry to do this, but he has to learn.
Yes. Batman has to go out and like clobber crooks by himself and punch them in the bathtubs.
I know, and say amazing puns. That's right.
Oh, yeah, because he throws a hairbrush at a guy and says that was a close brush.
Yep, and then he makes makes a bathtub joke when he throws him in. And he beats some guy up with suspenders, and he's like, I'm gonna snap at you.
Oh, no.
He hits another guy with a belt, and he says, I'm going to belt you in the jaw. Don't buckle under the strain. Man, Batman's a regular Bob Hope in this fight.
Nice topical reference.
Exactly. Bob Hope was so hot then. Anyway, these quality bandits, they're like, you know what? Batman is working by himself. And that makes him weaker. Says, him and the kid don't seem to be working together. Batman alone, maybe we can handle. So they're setting a trap.
I love the master plan of the criminals to get away. They turn off the lights in the room.
That's right. But it worked, didn't it? Well, they fooled Batman with a piece of hose.
I mean, these days he'd have a flashlight or night vision, something.
He probably have 50 different kinds of night vision in his cowl. He probably have special calibrated night vision just for empty warehouses.
But I'm like, he's got a utility belt at this point. He's like, he doesn't carry a flashlight. You go out.
I don't know. Life was simpler in 94. Maybe he can't carry a flashlight because he sent all the flashlights to the war effort.
Oh, maybe.
And that's totally absurd, Bill. But I like how you just went with that. Is it my authority as a historian that you're like, yeah, sure?
That, and it's like I said, in it seemed like every comic this era, it's like, oh, well, I would have a flash. I would totally believe if they wrote that in and be like, oh, I would carry a flashlight, but our boys overseas need those flashlights.
Exactly. But I sold all my flashlights to buy war bonds. Anyway, now this is one of my favorite parts. Batman comes home. Aww. Dick fell asleep studying, and Batman carries him to bed. It's so cute.
Leave me alone. Gotta study.
I know. He's like, take it easy. You've studied enough for tonight. And that's how you can see he's not wearing long pants. He still has short pants on when he's being taken upstairs. Then, the next night, Batman goes out by himself, and the moon is shining. And Batman touches some blocks, and he should not have done that.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it turns out he got luminescent paint on him, and now he's glowing, and he walked right into the trap.
Yeah, he tries to walk in. There's a bunch of firecrackers.
Exactly. And somehow...
And the crook's not...
Belt gets... Oh, no. Robin tries to contact him on the belt. Don't you love when he pulls his costume out of his... Like, he just, has it hanging out in his dresser in his room, and how it just comes out as all one piece. Like, even the cape is attached.
Exactly. I mean, that's not even this era. It's like whenever they want to, like, them to, like, hold that costume and show it off, it's like all attached.
Yeah, well, the costume does whatever they want. Even in the 70s, sometimes Dick takes all his costume out and he sleeps just in the Robin shorts.
Exactly.
And then other times it's like one piece, like when he takes it off. And
well, that's what I was going to say. Even like when Bruce was carrying him up to bed, he's in the full Batman costume. Like he would never do that anymore.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, Robin's like, Batman, what's up? And so then the crooks are like, oh, hey, this is great. Let's get the kid here and we can snuff them both out.
Yeah, because he hears the crooks talk, but he's like, Batman, what happened? They're like, oh, let's get the kid here.
The crooks are like, oh, come and get Batman. He needs your help.
I know. The crooks are like, hey, let's not just kill this man. Let's kill the boy, too.
Yeah. Batman. And yeah, look, it comes out of look at it coming out of Batman's belt. It's like a tough phone. It's like very Dr. Seuss right there. They got a whole phone coming out of his utility belt.
Again, he doesn't have a flashlight on that belt, but he has like some kind of communicator.
Yeah, he has a total phone. But I love how, because Batman is like so hardcore in the 40s, he's like, you dirty rat, don't you dare harm Robin. And then when they're like, Robin, come to Consolidated Fisheries, he's like, no, Robin, stay home and study.
Stay home and study.
It's like, come on, he's not going to do that. Because, of course, Robin's like, this is one time I'm not obeying Batman's orders.
Boy, even if it means my death, get an A on that math test.
I know, Batman's so intense.
Rather than just say, oh, no, stay away, stay home and study.
Right, I know. But... Oh, Robin comes to the Consolidated Fisheries, and the moon is behind a cloud, and so he sees, wow, there's a lot of glowing blocks on here. I should not touch them. Smart kid.
Yes, because luckily the moon is hidden, and it's so dark, I wouldn't have noticed them glowing.
Exactly. Then he says, okay, Batman would have gone through one of these doors, so I better not do that. Smart. Then he goes and finds the refrigerator, and he smashes the refrigerator coils to make sulfur dioxide, which is heavier than air. So he sits up, hanging out on top of the door.
Hey, don't skip over that, because he learned that in school the other day.
Oh, that's right, yes, that's right. He says, something I learned in school the other day. That's right. It out, and then he also learned in school that sulfur dioxide is heavier than air. And then he comes in wearing a COVID-approved mask.
Nice.
Actually, I don't know. It might just be a bandana.
He got the one-liners too, because he punches the one guy. He's like, drop that Gets him to drop the gun. Drop that gat, rat.
Yeah, exactly. And then he says, and then he throws a boat at the guy, and I hope boats don't make you seasick. Your ship's coming in. Exactly. They're like, oh no, we gotta get out of here. Robin pursues. Batman frees his bonds. What a job Robin's doing. This must be a welcome relief to him after all that stunning. I better follow and see he doesn't get hurt. Then the guys are like, oh no, we're gonna fix his wagon. These two panels, some of the greatest puns in Golden Age comics. Batman throws a tuna at one of the crooks. Robin says, wow, that hit him like a tuna bricks. And Batman says, what a pun. Sounds as if you're trying to make up for lost opportunity. And then the guy goes, ah. And he says, holy mackerel. And Robin smacks him with a fish. You named it, dumb. It's yours. I mean, can't you see why I love this one so much, Phil? It's a gift. It's a gift.
Some smelly jokes right here, kids.
That's right. And then the guys run away. Robin's like, let's get him. Batman, I think so have you. You shouldn't have come to save me in the first place. And then Batman's thinking in his speech bubble, he saved my life, and I have to pretend I'm angry. But there's such a thing as discipline. What a dad! What a dad! You better go back to your books. What? But Batman thinking, that was a neat trick with those refrigerator coils for a kid who flunked chemistry. And then Robin says, I'll show him. I'll fix those crooks myself. They kick the blocks so I can follow their luminescent footprints. Also, he throws the blocks at them, marking them.
Aw, he missed an opportunity. He had at least two of them in the head. He should have been like something with blockhead.
Yeah, that's true. Then we see that Batman, look at that, he even took his cowl off.
Well, yeah,
clean himself up.
Because he's rinsing his eyes out. Yeah, because he don't want Robin to know that the gas blinded him for a few minutes also.
Yep.
I love how he's Robin swinging down, the crooks are shooting at him. Uh-oh, looks like I should have stayed home and studied my lessons after all.
I know. But he doesn't seem like that into it. No, I'm just saying it's funny because I bet nowadays Batman wouldn't even, because he'd be like, there might be cameras in this bathroom.
Exactly.
Then he says, now I'll get on their trail. Sulfur dioxide sometimes acts as a bleach. Then, he hears a bang. Robin's still fighting. He didn't go home. Boom, then they're having a fight. And Batman gets another one in. I can see these rats. They're marked with luminous paint. I feel a glow of satisfaction every time I do this. Exactly. The moon once more appears. Robin, I knew I couldn't round them up myself, Batman, so I marked them with that luminous paint to help the police identify them later. Good idea, Robin, and it turned out to be useful. But for your original purpose, it wasn't necessary. The sulfur dioxide bleached their clothes. That would have identified them. Oh, and then chemistry whiz here. No, Batman. Sometimes the effect of sulfur dioxide disappears very quickly. The color might have returned to their clothes as it did to my cloak. Batman, huh? You know that? And you flunked chemistry? This doesn't make sense. After we turn these thugs over to the police, I'm going to investigate. Then we find out. Oh, Dick's report card was mixed up with another Richard Grayson, who apparently is a stupid one.
Richard E. Grayson.
That's right. We don't know what Dick's middle initial is at this point, but it's not E, apparently. And then Bruce, so groovy. I'm glad to hear that, Professor. Professor? What, does he go to Hogwarts?
Oh my god, there's another Richard Grayson. No, we got him confused. No, we confused.
It's Rick Grayson!
Exactly. You beat me to it, yes.
He drives a cab now!
See, kids, stay in school.
No, but I don't know why he calls him Professor. What, now Dick's a child genius who goes to college when he's 10 years old?
He's Sheldon Cooper.
Now we can resume a hobby of his, the study of birds, particularly the robin. He'll like that. And how? Hilarious. Yeah, how about that one? Pretty good, right?
Quite humorous, yes.
Yeah, that one. That one definitely heads and tails. Heads and fishtails above all the rest in that comic. Okay. Any last thoughts about that one, or shall we go to Batman 19?
No, we can go to 19. Again, it's just, it's so very a product of its time.
I know, it's amazing. It's amazing. But that one's a pretty good product of its time because it's not racist and not overly sexist. So if you're going to have somebody read a Golden Age comic, it's not a bad one.
No. Well, it wasn't sexist because there really wasn't a woman in this story.
Yeah, exactly. And yet, they still could have. I suppose really the only thing is, looks like they're bad at FERPA regulations in 1943. Of course, they didn't have FERPA, so...
I mean, it could have been like, I underestimated you, lad. At least you're not like a dame.
Yeah, see, they didn't.
Okay, Russell wants to know, favorite Batman villain?
I think we were talking about this. So I am... Oh, no, I was talking about this with my student. I was like, didn't I just have this conversation? I was talking about it with my students. So I was telling them I'm partial to the Riddler, because I like his tricks, and he is kind of like the Joker without being super homicidal, although I know he kind of got that way in Hush. So I really like the Riddler. I like Poison Ivy, as she's done later on, because they were really sexist when they brought her in the 60s. But I like Poison Ivy, and I like Scarecrow, because they got PhDs, baby.
Oh, that's right. Russell, you might get this professor to talk about one of those professors.
So those are...
Oh, you know what? You know what I heard just recently? I guess Poison Ivy was created for the 66 TV show, but they didn't end up using her. So I think they went to DC Comics and they asked them to invent them another female villain besides Catwoman. They came up with Poison Ivy. The show didn't end up using her, so then they just brought her back to the comics.
Yeah, because in the first one, she's kind of at like some sort of beauty contest sort of thing, I think. Yeah, but I think it also makes sense. It's very much a product of, with some of the later villains. I mean, some of the real early ones like Joker. Okay, he's just the clown. Catwoman, the cat burglar kind of thing. Two-Face, the Two Faces. Okay, but then some of the later ones, particularly in the 60s and later, I really find interesting because they're very much products of their time. Because, Poison Ivy comes out in, I think, 67, and she is a very attractive woman, and she's into environmental causes, kind of eco-terrorism. And, of course, eco-terrorist is probably a better word for Ra's al Ghul. She's like lower-level eco-terrorist. But, of course, when was the environmental movement really kicking off? The 60s. And then, of course, similar kind of thing with Ra's al Ghul, of course, he's developed in the 70s. He's got the environmental thing going on, but also he kind of plays into people being worried about the Middle East, period of the oil embargo, that kind of thing. So it's interesting with some of these later villains that they are. I don't want to say that they're all like bad stereotypes, because I don't think. I think didn't Denny and Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil maybe come up with Ra's al Ghul?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that they were being racist, but it's just kind of stuff that was in the news at that time. It was like, stuff about the Middle East, stuff about the environment. It happens, and I'm not quite sure though when Scarecrow was invented, but.
I think Scarecrow originally appeared in the 40s, I think. Yeah. He was probably way different, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I thought he was one, like...
Yeah, I think but, that still kind of makes sense, because, of course, Freud, people were still very kind of interested in, people have been interested in psychiatry and that kind of stuff for a long,
Yeah, Scarecrow's first appearance, World's Finest Comics, number 3, autumn 1941.
All right. We'll have to do it. Well, we do have an early Scarecrow, we have a Scarecrow year 1 kind of thing later on, but it's not it's much later.
Yeah, it was written in the modern era. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. He wasn't quite as well developed as he become. Oh, I mean, most of them weren't quite as well developed as they become later on. Who are your favorites, Phil?
Of course, I like the Joker. I mean, the Riddler's pretty good. I was gonna say, do we still count Catwoman as a villain?
Sure.
I mean, I like the back and forth between her and Bruce. There's just so many. I like so many. The clay faces are fun sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, they're all pretty good. I'm definitely in the category that sometimes I think Joker is overused. I mean, there are some really good Joker stories, but sometimes it's like, oh, we're having a big Batman story, and you're like, oh, great, it's going to have Joker again. I think part of the reason I like Riddler is because of the animated series. Every Riddler episode in the animated series is excellent.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I think they're all really good.
But yeah.
And for whatever reason, I don't like the Penguin as much in Batman the Animated Series. But I really like the Penguin in the 66 show. But I mean, played by Burgess Meredith, and how can you not love that, I suppose?
Exactly. But no, I'd say Batman, The Flash, and Spider-Man probably have the best like rogues galleries out of everyone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I know some of the Spider-Man. I don't actually know as many of the Flash, but doesn't he have kind of like a Mr. Freeze guy? Oh, Mr. Freeze is very cool. After they kind of, made him more in depth.
Oh yeah, when the animated series, when they gave him the the whole thing with his wife and everything, yeah. The Flash is Captain Cold.
Yeah, he is pretty. Yeah, I mean the thing with Superman, Lex Luthor is a cool villain, but Superman just doesn't have nearly as many villains.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's basically once you get past Lex Luthor, Brainiac, Doomsday, I guess, and then of course you have like General Zod. After that, it's like, well, who, Yeah,
I mean, is Darkseid originally a Superman villain, or is he always always Justice League?
I think he was like a New Gods thing, and then he eventually became like everybody's enemy. I think, yeah. But of course, Superman runs into him a lot because he's one of the ones strong enough to face him.
Right. I mean, and of course, I like Deathstroke. But I mostly like Deathstroke because he was invented for the Teen Titans. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, Deathstroke is certainly interesting. And Deathstroke knows and appreciates how good Dick is. And so I know and appreciate that too.
Oh, well, that's like they had the end credits, kind of like the end credit scene like they had in the original Justice League. They did it again in the Snyder Cut where I guess Lex is going to hire Deathstroke. And I don't know if they did it in the original version, but in the Snyder Cut, Lex like tells Deathstroke, he's like, oh yeah, Bruce Wayne is Batman. I'm thinking, in the comics he knew that because he knew who Dick Grayson was. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And so is that why on the DC shop they're selling Deathstroke t-shirts now?
Maybe.
Speaking of which, did you get a survey from DC Universe Infinite? If you did, please go on to that survey and tell them that they need to get more merchandise in the shop. That was what I said repeatedly in my survey. I was like, I want to buy some Nightwing stuff. I
swear I never got my thing for merch, even though I swear I got a message in the app that said, oh yeah, hey, your thing's still sitting there waiting, and then I go in my email and there's nothing there ever.
That's suspicious. Mm-hmm. Well, you should email them. But as of right now, I'm like, I have this $25 and there's nothing I want to buy.
Yeah, because I think I even looked at the merch when I got that message. I'm like, I don't know if I even care. There's not a lot here.
I know. It's like, why they make the store so tiny? Anyway, back to number 19. All right, I had us read this one. For two of them, the Atlantis Goes to War, because it reminded me. Actually, after reading, shout out to Joshua,
Bertoni, yeah,
yes, that. When he was going through the ladies in Dick's life, this is his first crush.
Oh, yeah.
Lana, the Empress of Atlantis. So, I guess, plus this is one of the, it's not the only one, but it's one of the few that actually directly deals with the Nazis and World War II. So that's why the Nazis are able to sneak up and take care of, get American, ally ships, is because they have some sort of access to this whirlpool of Atlantis, and they've kind of taken over Atlantis.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you want any more World War II, the first page, Batman and Robin are fighting guys on a Nazi, U-boat or whatever.
Right. Yeah, there's a couple other ones, but like I said, there aren't a ton of ones where they directly address, as in like in the story, World War II. Anyway, so the Nazis have convinced the Atlanteans that Batman and Robin are bad, and so the Emperor says, "Well, we're gonna execute him." But it turns out the Emperor looks surprisingly like Robin. So what happens? Dick beats up the Emperor and steals his clothes.
The Emperor's new clothes.
And then he says, "Don't kill them." And the girl realizes, she's like, "Taro, my brother, I'm so glad. Wait, you're not Taro?" And he's like, "Shh, you saved my life. Don't say anything." He's like, "Don't worry, I won't." And then the Nazis threaten to kill the Emperor, who's really Robin, and all the Atlanteans realize, these guys are jerks.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to kill our Emperor. A fight breaks out. And boom, they get the Nazis. And then they go home, but Lana sends Dick a letter. Well, it's funny because normally Dick is the one, and Bruce's Batman's always like, "Oh, a lovely night for romance and stuff." Dick's like, "Romance, bah." But this time, Batman says, "That's the end of those U-boats, Robin, and of all others that make Atlantis port of call. A grand adventure, wasn't it? I'll never forget her. I mean it." Batman says, "You mean her, you romantic young rascal. And here's a letter she asked me to give you once we're on our way. For me, quick, let me see it." And then, "Dear Robin, keep our secret and think of me sometimes, not as the ruler of a people, but simply as your friend, Lanya."
Oh.
Dick says, "And to think I'll probably never see her again." And apparently he doesn't, because by the time he's friends with Garth, Atlantis has changed a lot.
I'm looking for credits, so is Bob Kane the only one credited for this?
Yeah, I think so. Usually in the early years.
Yeah.
Bob Kane's the only one.
I was trying to look up because I was like, this sounds kind of familiar because it's later from here, but earlier stories. Superman, I guess in the early years, had a mermaid girlfriend, Lori Lamaris, who first appeared Superman 129 in May 1959, created by Wayne Boring and Bill Finger.
Well, wait, let me see.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, do we have a Bill Finger?
Atlantis Goes to War. The writer is Don Cameron.
Mm.
The artist was Dick Sprang.
Okay. I was going to say, does Bill Finger have a thing for Atlantis or something?
He's done some of them, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
According to the list in here, he didn't do any of the writing in Batman 19. Although he wrote The Crime Surgeon, but not Robin Studies His Lessons.
I was just looking for a connection. I was
He
going to
wrote
say
Bruce Wayne loses the custody of Dick Grayson. Hold on, that one's in this one. You know that's like one of my favorites.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, we're doing.
Oh, Bill Finger wrote it. Bill Finger, he's the man. Bill Finger.
I was going to say, yes.
But the penciler was Bob Kane.
Oh.
And the inker was Jerry Robinson. That's the big three. Finger, Kane, and Jerry Robinson. Boom, that's like the Trinity.
That's what's so good.
Anyway, yeah, so that's why I had us read that one, because that's Dick's first crush in the in there. But then the other one I like to read, I mean, there is a Joker one in there, but is the last one, The Collector of Millionaires? when Bruce comes home, well, it turns out it's the fake Bruce, and this person does not know. This person is a terrible double, because he is immediately suspicious. Because here he comes. At Bruce Wayne's home one day, Dick's looking out the window, again wearing Robin colors. Gee, there's Bruce, back from his vacation. I'll give him a bang-up greeting. He runs down there with a balloon. As soon as the door downstairs opens, he pops a balloon in Bruce's face. I'm just testing your nerves after your rest at that health resort. How come you're back so soon? And Bruce says, why, you little brat? And he punches Dick in the face.
The first of many times.
And says, I'll teach you to play tricks. Dazed and bewildered, Dick stares unbelievingly at his friend and guardian. What's got into him? Bruce never did anything like that before. I love how they totally play it off. He's not like, I mean, that's like very blatant child abuse. I feel like even in 43, they were like, don't punch your kids in the face.
Well, I guess they're like, oh, you can really tell it's not him. Something.
Right, exactly. What indeed has happened to kindly, genial Bruce Wayne? Yeah, that's right, Frank Miller. Kindly, genial Bruce Wayne. In your face! Puzzled and grieved, Dick tries to find out. Bruce, what do you want? Bruce, is there anything wrong? And meets with a harsh response. Bruce kicks him out by his butt. Out of the room. Yes, you're a pain in the neck. Now beat it and leave me alone. Understand? But like, it's funny because it's so over the top. And this guy's a terrible double. I mean, wouldn't you try to not be suspicious? I mean, the guy just goes in and cranks the suspicion up to 11. And like, oh yeah, I live with this kid and I'm going to immediately, within 5 minutes of coming home, I'm going to punch him in the face and literally kick him out of a room.
And every time now that Bruce hits Dick, shouldn't he be like, it's an imposter again?
Yeah, he should, because he didn't remember that. He's like, I don't understand. I didn't do anything. Bruce isn't himself. I mean, you did something. You probably shouldn't pop a balloon in his face. But, you know, if in the past, Bruce has been cool with it. And then we find out, yeah, Bruce isn't himself. He's in a cell. Oh, no.
Underground cell.
Terrible predicament. And then we see how he was playing. He was at a club. And these guys are like, oh, my dad's been acting queer ever since he came back from Ali's health resort. Carol and I have decided not to sponge on anybody. Like, I'm looking for a job. So Batman follows them, finds out something is up. And then they find out.
So I get that Bruce Wayne follows this guy and changes the Batman, but he took the Batmobile with him.
He must have hidden it. I guess so. Yes.
Wasn't it supposed to be?
Well, he saves their lives.
Yeah.
The owner owes me some favors, telling Batman, saying, "Thanks, Batman, you saved our lives." And then it's not like the judge to throw his son and daughter out of his home. I've got to go to this Ali's resort. Bruce, you're going on a vacation. So I think he must have shown up. He's just thinking about it in the Batmobile.
Oh my God! I mean, a lot of the details are different, but I think that they've based another animated series episode on this.
The one with Poison Ivy?
No, what? No, the one with Hugo Strange.
Oh yeah, where Dick shows up at the end wearing the
stilts. Yeah, yes.
Yeah. What one is that called?
I forget. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it's the one where Hugo Strange has a machine that can read people's thoughts.
Yeah, at the health resort. Yeah, right. Well, there is also a Poison Ivy health resort one where he invites Bruce and he sends Alfred and Alfred's lady friend instead, and they get turned into trees.
Yeah, the Eternal Youth Spa. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, the Eternal Youth Spa. Love it.
But yeah, that Hugo Strange one, yeah, it is funny because he finds out Bruce is Batman. He's going to auction off his secret to either the Joker, Two-Face, or the Penguin. So Dick has to show up at the end dressed as Bruce Wayne with a rubber mask, and he's on stilts.
And he's wearing these because at the end he hikes the pant leg up, and you see he's got a couple inches, and he's like, "These are really hurting my feet" or something. Yeah,
and had to imitate Bruce's voice to commission record.
Yeah. As soon as you say it is kind of a.
That's a cartoon.
Yeah. I'll let you look it up while we see how they're talking about. And finally, Bruce Wayne, society's playboy, of no use to anybody. And then they're sending a double, and Bruce is like, I gotta warn Dick. And it's a good thing he's thinking about that because Dick is up in his room where he has a framed picture of Batman and Robin over his bookcase.
He's a fan.
And he's like, he can't act that way to me. Maybe he'd be different if I reminded him of what we've been through together. So he puts on his outfit and he's about to reveal himself. And Bruce is like, Dick, don't tell me. Don't tell him who it is. That isn't really me. And he's like, whoa, whew. Thank heaven, I was about to spill the beans. Okay,
you ready for the title of the episode, which we should have remembered?
Yes. Is it The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne?
Yes.
Yeah, that is like the most obvious title.
Yes, exactly. Hugo Strange. Yes, reading in Bruce Wayne's mind. Come on.
Yeah, then as soon as you were like, which we should have guessed, I thought, oh, it's that really obvious. It's a really obvious title, isn't it? All right, so Dick sneaks into the health resort by hiding in a box of canned goods.
Oh my! Oh my God! What is with this guy's giant mustache? And
wait, which guy?
The guy who's dressed like an Arabian prince or something. I don't.
Oh yeah, Ali, the dude. Yeah, I know. See, this one is like a little bit racist.
Oh yeah, it's the 40s. There's a lot of racist stuff in common.
Because of stereotypes. All right, so Dick snuck in with the Batman outfit.
Oh my Lord. How's he get past the guard? There's a quarter on the floor. Hey, a quarter!
Yeah, I know. And then he, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, seriously, you think that guy would get that excited over a quarter? I mean, maybe if it was a gold piece. Jeez. I suppose it's just a natural reaction. You're like, oh, money on the floor.
I was going to say, it's 1943. Is that like today if someone's like, oh, look, there's a $20 bill on the floor?
Maybe. Anyway, they race into town, and the judge is about to dismiss these people. But Batman gets there just in time. Objection, Your Honor, which I don't think he can do. Mm-hmm. But, boom! He rips the face off the judge, and it turns out it's a phony! Oh!
With pleasure, Batman. I thought this guy was acting phony.
Yeah, exactly. He was acting phony. Then they go beat up another phony who's collecting money for the USO, but he's gonna steal it. I like this. Like a shot out of a cannon, a human projectile bursts into their midst. You wouldn't lie, would you, Mr. Prescott? And the other guy says, watch out, some crazy kid! It's not a crazy kid. It's Robin the Boy Wonder.
I know. Levy throws Robin and he grabs that swing. Robin's body shoots out and boomerangs back, feet first.
Exactly. Boom. Then there's like another phony. He's like, I knew it. And then they go in and they're auctioning off art. Oh, Batman punches through the art. Everyone's like, oh, he ruined a masterpiece. He says, no, it's a fake. And then he smacks that guy and his hair and mustache fall off. He's an imposter. Then they bust up the banker. Smack a trash can on his head.
Oh, yeah. Robin puts a trash can on his head and spins him in his office chair.
Yep. And then Bruce Wayne. He's about to take this ruby. Oh, put it in safe custody. And he's like, oh, gladly. Wait till I steal this for Ali. Wait! That man isn't Bruce Wayne. He's a phony.
The fake Bruce is like, how do we know he's the real Batman?
He's like, yeah, maybe he's a fake. A flashing moment, and a diamond-studded bat-shaped emblem gleams in the crime fighter's cup palm. Anybody else have one of these? Gosh, I'm sorry, Batman. Like, that's how Batman proves who he is, because he has a diamond-encrusted batarang?
I guess. Bling, bling!
Then, straight out of Scooby-Doo, fake Bruce says, I'll get you, you meddler!
Yeah, throws the case out. I love Batman. It's almost like hitting myself.
Yeah. Where's Ali? Don't hit me, I'll talk. Ali went to the resort. He can hold the millionaires for ransom. Oh, then they bust him in.
Reducing room?
I think it's a sauna.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
But yeah, apparently Ali was just wearing a puffed up suit because I don't think you can sweat that much out of you.
Superman on that quick.
Yeah, that's some comic book science right there.
I will myself tear you apart, you little brat. You sound good, Allie, but actions speak louder than words, my fat friend.
That's so rude.
He throws him.
And then look at Batman's gleeful face when he locks him in there. Work up a sweat, boys. He's like so excited to lock him in there. And look at them laughing. Like on this last page, Bruce has some kind of weird faces. Like that last panel, he looks really creepy. Honestly.
I know. When's the last time you see Batman and Robin just sitting there laughing?
Yeah. So then later, Dick, Ali did some good after all. Those men have reformed. How about you, Bruce? Didn't Ali say you weren't of use to anybody? Bruce, yeah, but you'll have to ask the Batman about that. Hilarious. That is kind of a freaky. That's a freaky drawing there. That Batman's gonna haunt your dreams.
Oh yeah, and before I forget, kids, yes, we covered Batman 18 and 19 today. If you want to, we covered issue 20 along with issue 32 way back in episode 21, like the beginning of last year. So
that's right. Who was responsible? Dick Sprang! My man Dick Sprang drew that creepy Batman. Dick Sprang was born in Fremont, Ohio, which is not that far from Baltimore. Actually, I have some relatives in a mausoleum in Fremont, Ohio.
Oh.
So Dick Sprang has a place in my heart. Actually, he did a lot of these. He did a lot in here. Not Bruce Wayne loses the guardianship of Dick Grayson, but that's okay.
So yeah, what did we learn again? What did we learn today, kids? Nazis are bad.
Always.
Make sure to do your homework.
That's right. Sulfur dioxide might bleach your clothes. Also, it's lower than air, so if your refrigerator coils break, get up high.
And any child abusers are phonies.
And maybe don't pop balloons in your parents' faces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And watch out for that fluorescent paint.
So true. So true. And be suspicious if you go to an inn with a famous restaurant and the food is terrible. We also learned that from the Hunter's Lodge one.
We learned that from the mob.
That one also, we didn't talk too much about that one, but that one also kind of reminds me of a Scooby-Doo episode. Because although this came first, so maybe Scooby-Doo stole it from Batman, but they have two competing lodges, and somehow they have a thing that they can use to change they have fake trees they can use to change the road, which is they totally do that in the Scooby-Doo cartoons.
Well, I just waited for any of these stories when like a fake mask came off and like, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you and this kid.
You meddling kids.
You and that meddling brat.
Exactly. It's true. It's true. So, which one was your favorite, Phil?
Let me see. I kind of like it's just for the silliness of it. I think I kind of like that first one. Do your homework, boy!
I mean, definitely. That's definitely my favorite of the ones we read.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, as an educator.
The puns are amazing! Also, Bruce is such a dad. And it showcases that Dick is very smart, because...
Exactly.
He knew those refrigerator coils, and he schooled Batman on sulfur dioxide bleaching.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Boy wonder, indeed.
All right. So anything else on these?
I think we're good.
All right. We'll fit whenever the new issue... Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll look that up. But yeah, we'll fit the new issue in when it comes out. But for the next 3 weeks, we're covering more old school Batman, because next week we're covering Batman 10 from 1942... Batman 22 from 1944, and Star Spangled Comics 91 from 1949.
I believe the theme on these, because these are ones I picked as well, is birthday. I think number 10 is features the infamous Dick's first birthday with Bruce.
Oh my.
And number 22 and Star Spangled Comics are both Bruce's birthday.
Oh. And is Superman in Star Spangled Comics?
I don't think he's in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, which let me know if you can't find that one. I have the Robin archives Because I'm not sure if Star Spangled Comics is on DC Infinite or not yet.
I thought it was,
Speaking
but
of which-
yeah, I'll take a look and double check. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know. Speaking of which, it's been years. They came out with the Robin Archives 1 in 2005, Robin Archives Volume 2 in 2010, and I've been waiting since 2010, 11 years now, for the Robin Archives Volume 3, which is supposed to feature the first appearance of Crazy Quill.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that might have been I think I've read it before. I think it's been reprinted in like Batman Family, but not the point.
Yeah, because
And by this point, I'm giving up. I don't think they're going to come out with it, but maybe they could come out with Robin Golden Age Omnibus, and they could include all of them in there, all the Star Spangled comics, because that is how, in the Golden Age, Robin appears on more comic book covers than Batman.
Ooh.
Because Robin is in Star Spangled Comics and is on the cover, and of course he's, generally speaking, on the cover of Batman in the Golden Age and Detective Comics and World's Finest. So he edges out Batman.
That's right.
Because of course this is before the Justice League, so Robin having a comic means he's in more comics than Batman.
Ha ha.
That's right.
All right, yeah, Nightwing 79 is coming out April 20th, so.
Oh, that's why. That's still like another month.
Yep.
Dang.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. See, they gotta take extra time to figure out what they're gonna name that puppy.
I guess, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. If you have thoughts, send them in. What should they name that puppy? But, yeah, so those 3 next week, and then in 2 weeks, Batman 66 from 1951. Yeah, issue 66. And then in 3 weeks...
I think that's another infamous one. I think that's the Joker story. I think that's Joker's boner. I think that's
I was wondering. I couldn't remember if it was that one or the detective issue, but...
no, I'm pretty sure it's that one. I don't know. I know I picked it because I have it in one of the omnibuses, and I was like, we need to talk about this.
Oh, my Lord. I might
Because it's famous.
I was going to say, I might be able to wrangle Lilith for that one just to talk Joker's boner.
It's a classic.
And then...
Actually, I believe it's Batman's boner. Excuse me.
Oh, I thought Joker's was talking about his own boners.
Well, he is, but then the whole point is he wants Batman to make a boner.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then in 3 weeks, Batman 156 from 1963. Isn't that the day Robin died, or is that the name of it?
Oh, yeah, I think it is, yeah.
So that'll be in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So next 3 weeks.
Robin dies at dawn, I think. Hold on, let me check. I have a picture of it in my hallway.
Because I remember reading it a while ago, and I think that was the one.
Yeah, 150. Yeah.
Yeah. So in 3 weeks, we'll be doing that one.
156. Yep.
With the first appearance of Dr. Hurt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he's just random doctor.
Retroactively, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
So yeah, next 3 weeks, be getting some classic Batman and Robin.
You know, that's actually a pretty good time to do it because it's in between we're doing the birthday issues in between my birthday and your birthday.
Oh, that's right. Excellent.
There we go. And actually, the day we're recording this is 2 days after Dick Grayson's birthday. Happy belated Dick Grayson's birthday to everyone.
That's right. First day of spring. I'm just trying to see what time this out is. 6, 8, 7, 8, 8. Oh, nice. Okay, so at the next 3 weeks, we're doing those classic Batmans, and then by the time the new issue comes out, I think it'll time out perfectly because in 4 weeks, yeah, so it is around the month. Yeah, we'll be doing Nightwing 52, so it'll be one old Nightwing issue and one we'll do the new issue. So yeah, it should work out pretty good.
Nice. So I assume that's Nightwing 52, like Dixon era 52.
Yeah. You'll know it's Dick and Catwoman on the cover.
Oh, that one.
Yes. Batman dies. Batman dies. Yes. All right. So anything else? Should we get out of here?
Nah, we're good.
All right.
Do your homework, kids.
Yes. Gave you like the...
Or in the 1930s parlance, study your lessons.
That's right, kids. Study. Never know when a refrigerator will come in handy. So,
Exactly.
Send your thoughts on all that. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Nightwing News on Facebook, Twitter. You could go. Please join us on the Bloodhaven Bulletin, our Facebook fan group for Nightwing and Dick Grayson. Find links to all of our various social medias for all of our shows. We got a ton of Marvel and DC shows. The Capes and Lunatics and Super Connectivity are just basically general anything goes. So yeah, find links to all of those, links to the YouTube channel, links to the Patreon, links to the merchandise, everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And please remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio and Hunt a Killer. Use the code Southgate for both of those for a discount. And for you learned types, those of you who do your homework, first go pick up Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback. Learn the stories of a bunch of podcasters, including myself. And if that isn't enough reading for you, please go pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. It's a great supplemental reading for this podcast. It's highly recommended. You'll be all your friends will be jealous of you so badly.
Diggity dank.
Give them the old diggity dang.
Diggity dank.
That sounds like a 40s thing.
Diggity dank. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is. I think who wrote that Flash plus Nightwing? I think it was Mark Waid.
Mark Waid, yeah, maybe he was.
Yeah, I think if I go back through my email, I'm pretty sure I emailed him once and I was like, hey, how'd you come up with diggity dank? And he was like, I don't know. I think it was something my mom or grandma said. So it might be a 40s thing.
I just thought maybe he was going for, oh yeah, Dick learned that in the beginning of his career or whatever. But hey, learn a whole bunch of secrets with Dick Grayson and Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder.
That's the kind of hard-hitting questions I ask comic book creators. Where'd you come up with diggity dank?
Hey, Mark Waid told me his favorite Flash villain is Abracadabra.
Diggity dank!
Oh, nice! Because he did use him a lot in his Flash run, so the big surprise. All right, so get those books and go on Amazon and do that. And when you do, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that glow-in-the-dark mobster with a rubber mask, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom.
Mark my words.
Alrighty. Again, thank you for joining us. Again, come back next time for more 40s fun.
Yeah. Birthday fun. Yeah.
Birthday. It's your birthday.
We should have some cake so we can eat it while we discuss.
It'll be a couple days before if we do it, it'll be a couple days before my birthday. If we do our usual Monday, it'll be a couple days before my birthday.
Pre-birthday cake. You know what, though? I bet you won't get as good a present for your birthday as Dick Grayson got for his, because you know what he gets.
What?
Airplane.
I'm going to say justice. Oh, I should say I want a Nightwing cake. All right, kiddies. All right, kiddies. So, come back next week for the thrilling adventures of Batman and Robin. Same wing time.
Same wing channel.
The Nightwing News. But that comes much later.
Are you a fan of comic books? Are you a fan of comic book villains? Well, join me, Russell, as we take a walk on the dark side with Tomes of Evil, the podcast dedicated to discussing, analyzing, and overall glorifying the villains of Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and all your favorite indie books.
Tomes of Evil, a comic book villain podcast.